So give them a warm welcome.
Goedemiddag.
Goedemiddag.
Hello. We are giving an update about the upcoming Dutch Hacker Camp, which all of you know will be called SHA2017. We decided to go with an OHM 2013 starting picture to kind of draw the connection up there. So yeah, SHA 2017 status of organization. The most awesome picture we found was a CCC camp picture though, so we do hope to get as funny, tense, but not as fancy thunderstorms. An overview of what you will be going through there. We will be introducing you, we'll have some questions to you, we'll give further information about the SHA, discuss the current topics, and yeah. So, that is Jelena. That over there is Stitch.
Oh. Yeah.
And I'm this McFly guy. Does any one of you not know how to reach us? Okay. So we have some questions about you. Who of you has been on a hacker camp? That's in short everybody but one. Who of you has been involved in an orga? That's roughly half, I'd say. And who of you have volunteered? The other half? Basically. Okay, so we are talking to actually people involved to the organization of further older hacker camps. So, what are we doing at the moment? At the moment, the topics we have is basically the location. We will give some updates about that for those who haven't seen any of that. We do have a location we aim for, we dream for, and we hope to make happen. The next topic which is pretty big in there is getting all the needed teams together and get them to start properly and get the infrastructure up and running and get them in the point that they can actually organize things. The third topic would be the budget, the money thingies, and the also very current topic, especially for this here, is the permission and the contracts with the location and the necessary contracts that come out of the permission. Any questions so far? That will be a fast talk today.
So the terrain, we're looking at a scouting terrain in Zeewolde. Zeewolde is at a large red marker, which is also physically present there. We can show a video of this terrain. Do we have audience? Do we have audio? Do we need? We don't need audio. Okay, right. This is the video of the terrain. This is the end of the video. So we're gonna replay it. Nogmaal. It's on Earth, by the way. So it's a nice drone flight of a few years back, and it's the terrain during delivery. These are now nice green fields. It has a lot of infrastructure already on terrain, such as roads, network, power, and it's the ideal terrain for us. They made it so well that we can just move in there. And the reason that they did was because of the scouting group that had some similar requirements as we have. So it's we think it's the only terrain of its size that is the fit that would be ideal. So you can see it's nice next to a river.
The river on this side is the kind of backsea of the IJsselmeer. So it's brackwasser and pretty nice to swim in. Also, you possibly notice the dike going through the campground, which allows us to put the noise resisting family village in front of the dike, and we do not expect like a flood.
So it will be close to Zeewolde, so about 3,500 to 5,500 people there for a few days, having also visiting Zeewolde and such. This is polder, so flatlands and forests. That's basically what you see, but also nice lakes and such. So it gives a lot of options to place lights on the tree, so it has a nice visual atmosphere. And that's something we missed at our previous event, unfortunately. So we think this is the absolutely 100% ideal terrain, and we're doing everything we can to make this make SHA happen on this terrain. Currently, we've sent a letter to the municipality requesting an exemption on the rule that they can only have one big event a year. So that is an ongoing process, and we think it's about 8 weeks that we know if they would grant this exception, and then we will actually rent the terrain. That's the next step. So you can see it looks really cute.
Can the lakes be used for swimming, or these man-made lakes?
The question is, can the lakes be used for swimming? I don't know.
I doubt they're deep enough. Like, babies can maybe try this, and very small children can actually swim there, but they're roughly about that deep. It's more decoration water. If you want to go swimming, go to the IJsselmeer. See, that is swimming up there.
Yeah, you can subscribe right now. So that's how the terrain looks. We're working on that. We've written the letters, and now scouting is friendly, really helping us with the communication with the municipality, and because they are known to the municipality. So this is a sort of technical layout of the field.
A lot of the dreams from the scouting auga is already painted in there. That includes the connection points, and that includes some buildings they want to build. In general, does anybody have questions? Please shout them in.
Yes. Was there, when the scouting had their own event, and the terrain was really muddy, have they made any process on fixing the mud that's there?
The question is, when the scouting did their own event, it was experienced as pretty muddy, and was the terrain altered to have less mud on it? We don't know yet. We think the terrain should be resistant to rain, a lot of rain situations, and that's something we are aiming for. If those things have not happened, we should make something happen to have drainage.
Have our own implement system running.
Something like that.
I've been on the site twice since then. I think the areas where the draining is not optimal, put it this way, is kind of restricted to maybe a sixth of the area. And I think a tractor that can pull in some more draining will not be super expensive. It's mostly corner areas, and in general, it needs to be said that the overall area is very swampy. We are not necessarily sad about all of that, because the forest around that, that is very swampy and hard to pass, will save us a lot of fence.
So, great. That's the terrain. If there are any questions, let's do that after this presentation. So, on to this space, right?
Yeah.
teams.
Okay, we have lot numbers of teams. Some of teams are completely formed by now, but the most of teams are still have open positions, and some teams need urgent someone who will take the lead for that team. The teams that need urgent people are build up and take down infrastructure, tickets and entrance, safety and security, and family village. The complete formed team are Production House, Logistik, NOC, Projektleitung, and the teams that are formed but still need more people to come and to join us. It's a press, lounge, volunteering, bar, decoratie, context, Infodex Village, and Sanity also needs more people to join us.
Yes.
Shouldn't decoratie be renamed to design?
No.
Yes?
What about the video operation center for video live streaming?
That's part of Productiehuis.
So there's Productiehuis team contains everything that makes the production of video and such happen, including stage building. And there will be, that might be that it is split into sub-teams, but in general it's called Productiehuis.
I might want to give some background to the teams versus project things. You can be only in one team. So we decided to group some things that in past has been different teams to basically one bigger team to get better results there and don't need to make too many exceptions. VOC is a good example because if you watch, for example, the CCC talks from the camp, I think that is not really an awesome stage, and that was just because nobody from Decoratie that made the stage had the look through a video camera on the stage before that, because it looks like a 10 square meters Red Army tent if you just look at the stage, which is something I would like to prevent in our conference.
So that's why it's called Productiehuis. Any other questions? Then we move on.
Projects. Awesome type font, right?
Yes.
So we have project.
Okay, we also have a couple of projects, but we hope that will be more of them. For the SHA, we have a batch project, map and traffics, sysadmins, finance, location, and food and court vendors, and project permits. So we hope that we will figure out for more and have more volunteers for some interesting projects that can join us also.
If you want to come up with a project for something for SHA, just throw it into the IRC channel or throw it to somebody of us, or just do it over there. Project is something where people that are involved can be in several of them. One of the problems of last time was that the load on especially core function was put on too few people who were in too many teams. That's why we decided that every team where we would expect you to kind of spend all to most of your time and make it separate, that at least not we have the same people in two different teams. That might then not be optimal performing because of overload.
So we are talking about overload. We want that everybody has also during the event some time, at least 2 days, to just enjoy what we've all together built, because that's a more rewarding experience than just working and running and see maybe afterwards what happens. So
I'm pretty confident that there will be video. I'm not scared of the mistakes we made last time because we know them. I'm scared of the mistakes we haven't made because we don't know them yet. So budget. Yeah, we're doing budget at the moment. The budget will be done for 3,500, 4,500, and 5,500 visitors, which already shows the size of the conference we're aiming for. 3,500 was the size of Ohm. And I already kind of exclude that that will be the scenario happening. I'm seeing us somewhere between the 4,500 and 5,500 people. The information I need at the moment, especially from all the team, is when do you need how much money? And it would be nice if we could get an answer for all of the three scenarios. So at the moment we're trying to find out what is the situation with the money we have, where can we spend money, and also predict very early if we have that many people, how much money will we have. Because if you plan a conference for 3,500 people and 3 months before decide to upgrade to 4,500 or 5,500 people, it might be actually too late to spend that money and have the awesomeness that you might want to be able to buy with that. So one of the points will be what I just called go, no-go dates. Decisions that have not been made yet, but if anybody is interested and has experience with budgets on conference and things like that, just please talk to me. I will give you a detailed view into the budget if you want to, if you give us feedback for that.
So, one of the last points is that things during Ohm and CCC didn't work out really well, and we took initiative to talk to CCC and see how we can work together. And this was last week in Austria during Easter Hag, and that was a fantastic meeting. It was really a positive vibe, and there was this feeling like we need this event to happen. So CCC is like really happy that this event is happening and wants to support us in every way they can. So at every upcoming CCC conference from the CCC board will SHA be promoted. CCC also wants to let the international communities and international teams happen. So we see the NOC team, the Network Operations Center team, as a prototype, and we would like to that all teams would be international like this, larger, more sustainable and such. So that's a lot of people we can expect from the CCC to help and to make this conference really, really great. We all want this to happen, so hooray. So additionally, we got an extremely friendly credit to start the event that will be used, for example, for renting the terrain. If something goes wrong and we would not be able to pay it back, that is not a problem. So it's really a really friendly credit. We're really happy to have it this way.
I think the quote in there was, it would be nice if you make money if you pay it back.
Yes.
Draw your own conclusions.
So, of course. A question.
Are there any preconditions on the credit?
Are there any preconditions on the credit? Well, we will formalize the credit in a contract so that this is not only words but that it's real and defendable, and there will be no preconditions on that, just that this event will happen.
No vetoes on
There is no vetoes on speakers. We have different sponsor structure. That's another discussion. But for example, we are not doing money sponsors, but equipment sponsors maybe. So it's and also we are more careful with the sponsors that we really want to have. All in all, we want to prevent the situation we had last time in any way we can. So
I would say the thing last time, having Fox ITF sponsoring, costed us at least 1,000 tickets we didn't sell, and that's 200,000 euros. That was a really, really, really expensive sponsor for us. And it's hard to predict where the line is drawn of sponsors, where you can have a controversial discussion or not, we're aiming for being able to run a conference without money sponsoring.
And it would
This is a credit. The CCC would like to have it back.
there's no really. They want us to do it or to organize it in the way we see it, and they have a lot of faith in us, and that will also be reflected in the contract, of course.
And we decided also to have the discussion next time not on Twitter. So in case a potential shitstorm's coming up, we decided to not discuss this publicly on Twitter, but really to use these technologies of the 21st centuries, something like Jabba and things, and directly talk to each other. Because I think this could have been prevented the last time if not the persons really affected had the fingers on their Twitter account and basically tweeted hundreds of tweets on both sides, which on the next morning when the communication team woke up, there was nothing to fix anymore.
So, some people were entertained by this, so, something good came out of it somewhere. So no, there's a lot of faith, and we are looking at the budget also to see if we need sponsors at all. Maybe we can make it like that we just do it in such a way that we can build it only by the community. And that would be the ideal situation, but that we have to, the budget is a changing thing over time, so that's basically it.
And going for sponsoring also gets yourself into situations, those of you who follow the drama about LambdaConf, however you stay personally to that, that show that having sponsors also can be a threat to the conference in case these sponsors under public pressure decide to pull out on short notice, which happened to LambdaConf and nearly killed the conference. So that is another reason for trying to prevent sponsors to organize your conference in a way that we don't need sponsors.
So, conclusion, the CCC really wants this to happen, and we are trying to build this international community of teams from England, Germany and the Netherlands, maybe also Belgium, to make sure that not only the Dutch conference or the German conference, but also the English conference all happen with experienced people that want to invest in the content that such an event produces. So that's the CCC.
Then one of the nice things we agreed on is some of you might have seen a presentation from Steve Jobs at the end of his Apple conferences. We'll get this. One more last thing.
One more thing.
Yeah. On the CCC closing event and whatever the CCC can give us in promoting this event, because the core thing is really we would like to sell lots of tickets and finance our costs over selling tickets, which I think is the most honest way of doing something like that.
Closing off, if you want to have more information on the organization of SHA 2017, you can always say hi to us. The presentation will be shared and the video will be online momentarily. The wiki is on SHA2017.org. There's an IC channel, there's a mailing list, there's a the Mumble chat channel. So there's a lot of infrastructure available. There's a file hosting stuff where there's a lot of information. So we try to make everything as open as possible, and these are ways you can reach us or
gather information about the conference. For those of you who want to join in and help organizing that, join in a team or just think like, how can I help you running this conference? How can I become a part of running this conference? This is actually the best start points for that. Read the wiki where you find most of the teams, not all of them though, and join the ISC channel, join the mailing list, then you have most of the information already. Yes? Yes, most teams have sub-channels. Decorazi, for example, has SHA 2017-Deco. Produktionshaus has The Produktiehaus after that.
No. All these
Badge.
all these channels are also on the pages on the wiki, so you can find them. The thing you're interested in, it will have the information on the wiki. So.
Are there any questions? Are there any questions?
All right.
Yes, Anne-Jan.
SHA2017 stand for?
The question,
Somebody will find out.
that's missing an H and an A.
Yeah.
So the meme. So the question was, what does SHA stand for? And in the past, there was a 3-letter conference with a name. The meme is that there's no official name, and everybody makes up their own name, and that's funny in itself. We were leaving it this way, but yeah, it's funny. It's entertainment. There's a popcorn machine out there. It's doing big business right now. So that's it, right?
Yeah. Unless anybody else has any questions still. Nope. Thank you for attending. Thank you for staying that long. And we hope that we'll be able to get all of you on the board to make an awesome hacker conference in the Netherlands.
Yay.